Creating cool glitchy effects in Affinity just got a whole lot easier. Previously, this required complicated channel operations, but now you can just use one simple filter. So let's check it out and see how filters work in general. I'm here in the new free version of Affinity, and yes, you heard that right, Affinity is totally free now. You can download it from affinity.studio. I have this image here open. Let's add a glitch filter. To do that, I'll click over here in my layers panel. I'll click this filter icon, and I'll scroll down, and I'll choose the one that says glitch. And now I have this pop-up window here. So under glitch type, there's many different ones we can choose. Let's choose one called aberration offset. Now by default, usually nothing happens until you adjust the controls. So I can drag these controls here. And you can see I'm starting to get this glitchy effect. Let's zoom in. This is a pretty classic effect here. It shifts the channels, and it makes it look like it's an old TV or monitor. Let's try another method. I'll click on glitch again. I'll change the glitch type, and let's choose quantization. Now I'll increase the strength, and you can see it creates this pixelated effect. I'll close the control. Now over here you can see how the glitch filter got added to the layer stack. I can easily toggle it on and off. I'll click the eye here. So this is before, after, before, after. Let's create a more dramatic effect. Let's use the waves one. I'll click glitch again. Now for type, I'll scroll down and I'll choose waves. Let me zoom out a bit. Now I'll make it really strong here. And one thing you notice on the edges of the image is you get this transparent space here. Let's zoom in. This is because of the way the glitch effect is distorting our image. There's a couple ways we can deal with that. On the glitch effect, you can check preserve alpha, and it'll try to fill in the color behind it. So this is before, after, before, after. Let me turn off preserve alpha. Sometimes it's easier to just resize your image. I'll close the glitch effect. I'll choose my image here, and I'll just drag it a little bit beyond the edges of the canvas. So that's another approach. We can also stack effects. So I'll set this one back to aberration offset. Let's make it really strong. I'll close this. I can rename it so it's clear what it is. I'll call it aberration. Let's add another filter above it. Once again, I'll click on the filters. Let's add glitch. And this time I'll do quantization. I'll increase it again. I'll close it, and I can rename it if I like. And now we have the two filters working together. So before, after, before, after. Let's talk a bit about how filters work in the layer stack. I have these two separate images here, each on its own layer. Let's create a glitch filter for the face. So with the face layer selected, I'll click on this here. Let's go to glitch, and let's try scramble. That's down here. I'll set it to about 25%. Let's close this. So you can see over here that the filter can actually be attached to the layer. And I can also drag out the filter and put it above the layer. This is effectively the same thing. The filter is going to affect everything below it. So if I move the filter to the top, let's drag it up here, it's now affecting all of my images. Now what if I wanted the glitch filter to just affect the astronaut layer? Well, I can take the glitch filter, I can drag it onto the astronaut, and I'll let go. And if I expand it, now it's just affecting that layer there. However, there is one side effect to this approach. Notice how it's limiting it to the square area of that image. Let's see what it was doing before. Let me turn off the face for a second. If I take the glitch filter and I drag it up here, notice how it's spreading it out more. Whereas if I attach it to the image, it's limited to that area. So if I wanted this effect here, but I didn't want to affect the face, well, I could group the glitch and astronaut layer together. I'll hold shift and select them both. And then I'll click this button here, the folder. I'll say group. And now it's limited to just that area. So if I expand the group, you can see the glitch filter is affecting the astronaut, and it's pulling it beyond the bounds of the image. So it's a subtle difference, but something that's useful to know. Something else we can do is apply a mask to our filters. So once again, I'll add a glitch filter. Let's do quantization. I'll dial it up a lot. So you can see the strong effect it's having. Before, after, before, after. Now there's two ways we can mask a filter. First, we can paint directly on the filter, and using black will hide the filter effect, and using white will reveal it. Let me show you what I mean by that. I'll choose my paintbrush tool over here, and I have the color black selected. Let's see what brush I have selected. I'll choose something soft and round, something like that. I'll use bracket key to make the brush bigger. Now if I go back to my layer stack, I have the glitch layer selected. Watch what happens when I paint black on it. It removes the glitch effect. Let's do it with the tree over here. It removes it there as well. If I wanted to paint the content back in, I would select white. I would paint in white here, and that re-enables the glitch. And over here on the layer stack, notice how I get a preview next to my filter. It shows basically what I've done. I painted in black on this part over here, and the rest is white. Now this method is okay, but there's a more flexible way I prefer. Let me undo this. I'll keep doing Command-C. Just add the filter back again. Instead of painting on the filter, we can actually manually add a mask to it. So with the filter selected, I'll click on this button here, Mask Layer. Now it didn't get attached to it, let me just click and drag it to the glitch area. I'll expand this. And now you see this is slightly different than what it was before. The mask is actually nested under the glitch filter. But I'll select my paintbrush again. Let's choose black, and I'll paint over here. And the effect is removed. Now the reason I prefer this method is it's a little more flexible in what you can do with the mask. For example, I can easily toggle it on and off. And when it's connected there, if you right click on it, you can have these other options to modify the mask. And we can always click and drag it to something else as well. So let me delete that. Just to show you again, with this layer selected, I'll click Mask Layer, I'll drag it, I'll let go on the icon here, and I can paint on the mask like so. And when you right click on it, you get more options than the other way when you paint directly on the filter. Have you used the new glitch filter in Affinity? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.